Hey guys, I wanted to take the time today to talk about a few things. Usually I just talk as it drops in my spirit, but this was so important, so I wrote them down just to be able to address those points. The first thing I want to say is I created a group for Be the Change Empowerment. I wanted to create a space where we could empower ourselves, knowledge, just a positive space. So the first thing, so if you get the chance, join the group, check out the contents, check out the page itself, the Be the Change page. I posted a video on there where I researched this online learning site. Everything on there is free, so you don't have to have a computer to empower yourself. If you go to the page, it's Allison.com. I don't have any rights to the contents on there, but it's a free space. You go to Allison.com. It's ALISON. You can it will actually sign in as Google, sign in as Facebook, email password. You can just do sign in as Facebook, and you can be right on your phone and educating and empowering yourself. It has a lot of content, so if you want to check it out, It's not my page. I don't benefit from it. I just feel like we have to empower ourselves. Secondly, there is a winner for the competition that I did. There's a first and second place winner. There's no third place. No one else posted. So first place is 150, second place is 75. So I will be getting in touch with those people just to let them know how to collect the contents, the winnings. But I wanted to talk about a few things. The first is my plans are different from God's plans. You've been there. You have your definition of success, where you think you should be in your life, how you think you should go about it. And a lot of the time, God has his way, and it may not be the straight way. It may not be the brightest way. It may have to be through some winds and bends and bush. And a lot of the times, we don't want to go that route, or we don't think our level of success should be that. You may think your level of success should be in the office making a lot of money, and God's definition of success for you may be somewhere evangelizing or taking a job with a pay cut just to help a specific group of people. That may be your God's plan for you, and that may be success for you, and it's going to be completely different from the other way in a big office, just making money, but not actually impacting. So a lot of the times our plans are not the same of God. It's not the same as God's plans for us. Also, a lot of the time we do partial obedience. God tells you to do something, you listen some of the time, but not all of the time. You may be driving and he may drop it on your heart to stop and give someone $20. Stop and do this. Stop this person and just impact their life with positive words. But we ignore it. We're like, I'm going to do it the next time. I heard you. The person ran by so fast I didn't have the time. So we do partial obedience. We obey sometimes and we don't. You're a Christian, but you don't tithe. That's the hardest pill I had to swallow. Actually giving 10% of my money. I need to pay my bills. I don't make enough, but you can't do partial obedience. You know what I'm saying? You can't obey some of the time. Partial obedience is the same as disobedience. Sometimes success for you, it's just answering God's call or just being obedient. You may be in a position in your life that you may not think you're successful right now. You may be the contrary of what you think success is. But in God's eyes, you are successful because you answered the call and you were obedient. You listened to him. You took the action that he wanted you to be. So that's God's level of success for you. Just be patient. Stay in there. Also, I've gotten feedback. I've gotten so many feedbacks from people with what they think Be the Change should be about, the page should be about, the contents I should speak, how many times I should speak, the fact that I've cut my hair, dyed my hair, I'm posting to a lot of feedbacks. That is very much appreciated. I don't even have the whole picture of what this should be. The most important thing is I answered the call. God told me to do something and I did it. A lot of the messages I post is messages he wants people to hear. So I may look a fool out there, but I feel like I'm obeying God's plan. This brings me to the next point. I created this page before helping Liberia to honor God. It dropped in my spirit. I wanted a way to honor God. So I created Be the Change, with my mom, to help Liberia, but mostly to honor God. And then when I started Be the Change, I have my idea of what should happen with Be the Change. I have my idea of who to help, how to post the content. And a lot of the time, I could hear God speaking to me, this is not how I want you to do it. Or this is not the avenue I want you to take. But like so many of you, a lot of the time you want to seek outside approval over God's approval. I'm like, for me, the biggest thing for me is to gain feeds into Facebook. I want to create traffic into Facebook. The more people that watch it, the more, God, your word is going to get out there, and the more impact I'm going to have. But a lot of the times we have the right intentions. You start an initiative the right way to help people or to honor God, and along the way you have an idea of what the content should be, and a lot of the time we slowly start to silence God in the process, and a lot of the time that's how you lose your mark. He anoints you, prepares you to do something, and a lot of the time you take him out of it. You think you're smart, you think you're articulate, you think you have more knowledge, not intentionally, but you just think you can do a better job. So I've learned, and I'm learning, to always put God first. Even if it doesn't look right to others, even if you're gonna look like a failure or you're gonna get laughed at, men's approval should not matter. God's approval should come first. So I'm learning that. I'm like, no matter what, God, I want to put you first. I started this to honor you, so I want to honor you. I will listen to hear, what do you want me to do? And it's not about the masses. It's not to be popular out there. I want this to be your vision. If I created this for you, then you should have a say in it. You should have your vision, not my vision. All right. And then as a result of putting God first, the first thing I try to do now is to take the time to feed my spirit. So I want to take the time to feed my spirit the right way at the beginning of the day. So the best way to do that is spending quality time with God. When you wake up, the first thing you do is feed your spirit the right way. This is going to start your day. This is going to keep you focused. This point I'm going to emphasize is because God wants me to always put God first in everything that you do. Put him ahead of your finance by tithing. I know 10% is a lot. You can do a lot with it. I can do shopping with it. I can save this. It's going to be a lot of money. But put God first, because 90% with God is a lot better than 100% by yourself. So start with that. Put God first ahead of your finances with tithing. Put God first ahead of your marriage. Put God first ahead of your job. If he tells you stay in a low-paying job because he wants you to impact people, do that. Put God first ahead of everything that you do. God don't like no sloppy seconds. Don't spend for all your money and then you tithe. Don't go to God when things go bad, then you bring God. You don't want nobody sloppy second, right? Sloppy whatever. What makes you think the God of all of creation that has everything wants your sloppy seconds? So this is a hard pill to swallow, and I'm struggling with it. I'm learning, and it's costing me because I make a lot of mistakes, and then I stop and I wonder, why am I struggling? The reason you struggle, and it's not financially, but the reason you struggle in everything that you do is because you don't take the time to put God first. When you put him first, he will make the provision spiritually, physically, emotionally. He will fill you up. So I am all about make the mistakes first and then, come back and be like, okay, you were right. But it's going to cost you, because you're going to make the mistakes over and over and over until you do it the right way. That's how God works. You're going to make the mistakes over and over until you learn. So put God first in everything that you do. I know sometimes it may seem like you're like I said, it's gonna make you look like you're a fool, or it make you look like you're not successful according to man's standard and all of that. But you don't try to please anybody out there. Don't try to seek approval. Don't try to look cool. The only person that should matter, only person's opinion, only person's validation, only person's stamp of approval should be God. So I thought I'd share this message because I will not share content unless I'm walking through it. So I hope that touches somebody's life. This may not be your idea of what you think be the change should be. This may not be your idea of what you think I should be saying. I should not be on social media. But I don't try to seek approval from anybody, but I'm starting to walk my life seeking approval from God alone. So if he tells me this content needs to be out there, this content will be out there. I hope everyone has a great day, guys.